Oh, this is typical Plymouth. How can you go and beat Leicester and then put in such an inept performance against Stoke? To discuss that and talk now about, oh no, our Plymouth going down. I can't believe we're back here again. Is Jaden. How are you, Jaden?
Yeah, I'm okay. Been better this
Yeah.
season.
Okay.
Um, but
We'll,
yeah,
we'll
we
we'll look at the mass of it in a second. But was that one of the worst performances you've seen in a while from a Plymouth side?
yeah, definitely. I mean, I think there's been some pretty poor performances this season, but there's also been some very good ones. That's obviously down in some of the poorest we've seen. But yeah, it was pretty bad performance from Argyle. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw most of the game. Morgan Whitaker looked off it completely. Is there something going on there that we don't know about? And I've mentioned it before, but I've laid off his bat. But he had a shocker.
Yeah, he does tend to have some off games. He's played, I think, pretty much every game this season, so it's bound to happen. But yeah, he's having a bit of an off season at the minute. People will say maybe Foster ruined him, but there's lots of ways you can look at it. But yeah, he's having a torrid time at the minute.
Okay, let's look at the table then, and let's chat about it. So you are on 48 points. You are two ahead of Birmingham City. Okay, so first of all, what result do Plymouth fans want from that Huddersfield Birmingham game this weekend?
Draw.
A draw. Okay, so that puts Birmingham on 49. Sorry, it puts on 47. Yeah, Huddersfield are probably then out of it. Okay, so that then takes you to the final game of the season. Let's presume you don't beat Millwall. Yeah, that takes you to the final game of the season, and it takes Birmingham to their final game of the season against Norwich. So, have you played out all these permutations in your mind? Do you think you are safe, even if you don't get any more points?
No. Um, we've literally, I think, four out of the last five seasons, we've took whatever position we've been in to the final day, which is just mind blowing, really.
Yeah.
To have been in sort of a scrap at the end of a season every season. Um, but yeah, it's we love to do it to ourselves, um, and hopefully we can actually win a week early this year, so it's all over on the last day.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it's not very nice.
But if Birmingham were to beat Huddersfield and Sheffield Wednesday were to beat West Brom and you fail to beat Millwall, that then puts you in the bottom three, which, oh goodness. I mean, it's largely due to how great Wednesday have been, hasn't it? And no one's perhaps saw them beating Blackburn, except their own fans. Plymouth could go down, Jaden.
I mean, it's almost bound to happen, after that Sheffield Wednesday win. I mean, they're on such good form now, right at the most vital point of the season.
Yeah,
And our last game hasn't been the best, so
yeah.
yeah, it's not looking good. But you just never know. It's just the championship. You won't know until the game is over, and
All right.
that goes for every game. So yeah,
All right,
so
let's bring in our Millwall fan then. Let's see if Millwall are going to be on the beach a little bit here because they are safe and uh, certainly were when they left the Stadium of Light this weekend. Welcome, George, to the Plymouth View. Can you help Plymouth fans here? Can you give them some kind of hope that actually Neil Harris isn't going to take this one as seriously as he might have done?
Well, listen, Millwall are officially safe now. We've secured our championship status for another season, so I think that will give Plymouth some sort of hope that we could be potentially on the beach. Obviously, we just played Sunderland. It looked like both teams were on the beach the weekend just gone. So, but if I'm going to put a bit of a damper on that, I think Millwall's home record recently has been really good, and I know Plymouth's is really poor over the course of the whole season. So, and Neil Harris. He won't be sort of sitting back and saying, "Listen, lads, don't go for the win." He'll be going, "Listen, lads, go for a win. Last home game of the season, give the fans something to shout about." So, yeah, he'll certainly be able to motivate them come Saturday.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that, George. We'll get some score predictions, and then Jaden will review the away games. George, you can go first because you're at home.
I think we're all going to win by 2-0. I know we're safe now and we're sort of on the beach sipping margaritas, but I know Plymouth's away record is really poor, and Millwall have been good recently under Harris at home, so I'm going to go with 2-0 Millwall.
Okay. Jaden.
We love to make it tricky for ourselves, so I'll go 1-1. I think we might do something on the final day against Hull at home somehow. I don't know how we're going to put it off, but
Okay.
I think we will stay up in the end.
Okay. Right. Thank you, George. Thanks for coming on and sharing that view with us. Just before I let you go, then, Jaden, it is the last away game. Plymouth fans have travelled up and down the country this year. So first of all, credit to Plymouth. You have to travel the most out of any sets of fans. The Green Army are always well supported, always in good voice. Despite the result, I've always come back the following week as well. What's been your highlight of the year in terms of away trips and away performances?
It's a tough one. I think,
There's not been that many, I know, but
yeah. Swansea away, I think was fantastic. It's quite a close away day, so obviously a lot more people went, and it was getting that first win on the board away. And then we had um Middlesbrough, that was good. Um,
yeah.
a lot further as well, so it was good to get that kind of reward from the trip. Um,
And of course, you
yeah,
won
I think
you won it.
they're the top two. I think I can remember.
Yeah, and that pressure game at Rotherham, I'm sure, was not enjoyable,
Yeah,
but it was nice to win. Although never make us sit through that game ever again. Sorry, that's one of the worst football games I've ever watched. All right, what's been the lowest point?
Ooh, um, that's a tough one. We obviously had 4-0 away at Leicester, but we was on good form at that point. We never stopped singing the whole game. Um, the lowest point away from home would have to be. I think Norwich was a tough one to take. Um, that period of time was quite tough under Foster. A lot of miles that weekend.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think that was a tough one to take.
yeah. It was a time when the fans were together, they were divided, weren't they? There was lots of falling
Yeah.
outs, and the club didn't feel like it. Right. Well, listen. Good luck against Millwall. I have no idea which way this relegation race is going to go. But my only worry is that it always seems to be the team that isn't playing well that falls at the last minute. And other than that Leicester game, you just aren't playing well at the moment. So hopefully you can get your stuff together, pick up a point against Millwall, and then you can relax against Hull. But we will see you next week for the big one, the final home game of the season, Hull City visiting Home Park. And hopefully, Plymouth are still a championship side. Um, Good luck, Pilgrims. And if you want to comment what your favourite home away game or trip has been this season, please do so in the comments below. Thanks, Jaden. Good luck.
Cheers, Mark.